GPT 5.3 and Opus 4.6 just dropped last week, and one question you may ask yourself is, should I use these models from respectively Codex or Claude Code, or should I still rely on Lovable, V0, and Figma Make when it comes to building a front-end prototype? Building your front-end prototype is the first task you should focus on after writing up your PRD. This lets you iterate on the UX based on some early customer and user feedback. This lets you refine the design component that your design system is going to rely on down the line. And also it's going to set the technical constraints of your backend, including what is the schema of the database, what is the libraries that your backend should rely on, what are the third parties that you should connect to, etc., etc. So that's a very critical part of your project. And in the wake of this video, we are going to test these tools and model on a running coach application. So this is basically a web SaaS app that lets running coaches monitor their runners' training. And we're going to assess to what extent it was faithful to the design system we came up with in the wake of the PRD. Did it achieve the jobs to be done? How long did it take to basically come up with the prototype? Did it go deep into the UX? What is the level of interactivity that the prototype came up with? And also, very importantly, simply, does it look good? Does it look slick? And is it really, and is the code that was generated the code that we want our front-end to rely on down the line? Let's have a quick look at what this app is all about. So I already generated the PRD here. So let's dive a little bit more into the details. So that's, as I said, a web application for running coaches to better monitor the training of their runners. And here are like the 6 main jobs to be done that we want to achieve. The first one is that we want to make sure that the coach can visualize easily the training and competition calendars for all their runners. The second is it should be very easy and fast to actually create and update some new training schedules for their runners. The third one is the coach wants to be notified when something went wrong, when the runner did not complete the training, for instance. The fourth one is the coach should be able to see where their runners are actually competing. Also, it should be very fast and easy to actually onboard new runners and actually organize them into teams. And last, it should be very easy to actually communicate with each team, basically. So this is what we are going to achieve. In the wake of this PRD, there are also some design elements. These design elements, if you want to have a look at it, are actually described within a design token JSON file that is available here. But to make it easy to visualize, I came up with a design system page that actually shows the various design elements that we are going to rely on. So as you can see, the primary color is this orange here. And we have like basically a comprehensive view of what should be like the design components that we are going to rely on. So what we're going to do is that we're going to actually paste the PRD here. And we are going to actually start generating the front-end code here. So I have a setup for Claude Opus 4.6 here that I'm going to start here. So I have this alias CC that lets me start a Claude Code session with bypass permission on. And what I'm going to say is that I'm going to ask Claude Code to build, let's build a React plus Vite plus TypeScript application that is defined by the following PRD. Okay. So basically here, that's the very simple instruction that we're going to give to Opus 4.6, and let's actually paste it here. And let's rapidly launch, in the meantime, Codex. So let's launch Codex here, and let's actually do exactly the same. So I need to actually copy again the content of the PRD. All right, so we're launching Codex here, and let's launch now Lovable. Let's build a front-end prototype for this app. Okay, so we have Lovable launched. Now V0, let's build the front-end prototype for this app. So as you can see, we are using 4.6 fast for V0. And last but not least, let's use Figma Make. So let's build a front-end prototype for this app. Okay, so let's just validate that everything is launching well. Okay, here that works, and here as well. Okay, so a few more elements about why we decided to come up with this prompt. So we, as you saw, we explicitly asked to build a React plus Vite plus TypeScript application. This is because this is actually a framework that is used by both Figma Make and Lovable. So to make the comparison as precise as possible, it's better to opt for this kind of framework. And yeah, let's just see which model or a product comes up first with a solution. All right, so V0 was the first product to actually come up with the front-end prototype. It took approximately 4 minutes, so that's what I added here. And regarding Figma Make, I think it just did it, so that's maybe like 5 or 6 minutes, something like that. So let's see how the others are doing. So we have Lovable also that just finished, so it's approximately the same time. So we see that actually, let's actually have a look at the others. So yeah, so what it seems is that the 3 like front-end prototype tools actually came up with a solution first. Let's now compare the various designs. So let's first have a look at the V0. So first, did it achieve the various jobs to be done that we set in the wake of the PRD? So we have the overall vision of the sessions. Actually, I think it's more related to this calendar here. So that's good. We can see everything here. There's the list of competitions, so that's quite good. Can I add some runners easily? So it seems to be the case. All right. We have a bug here though. Can I announce and chat with the various teams? That seems to work okay. We have a revenue tab here that I actually did not ask for unless I'm mistaken, but that looks good. And we have also the notification system here. So from a UX standpoint, for me, it's all good. I mean, from a jobs to be done standpoint, it's all good on V0 side. It's honestly, I mean, it does follow like the design system that we set ourselves. If we have a look at it again here. Yeah, looks like it. The typo font family is actually Poppins with Inter, so that's Inter and that's Poppins here. Okay, so all good. Typography is good and overall it seems to work. So that's good. In my opinion, compared to Figma Make, the design looks sleeker in the sense that the font size is much more adapted, and I feel like the design components look better. So for V0, let's actually evaluate the level of good-looking sleek design. For me, we are not far from a 8 or 9. Let's say 8 for now, and maybe we can assess a bit more precisely later. But yeah, when it comes to V0, what I like also is the fact that yeah, there's some level of interactivity. We can see that. Yeah, actually not completely, because as you can see, not all buttons do work here. Here, can I add a competition? I can still add a competition here. Okay. So that kind of looks good. Let's get back to Figma Make to compare. Yeah, I feel the design is not at the same level, I would say. You see that when I click on the add competition button, it does not open up the model, so I would have to actually iterate over the prototype. Can I add a runner? I can't add a runner. I mean, overall it's quite good, but I would actually say that it's maybe, in terms of sheer design, it's maybe a 6 out of 10. Oh, sorry, that's for this one. In terms of UX depth, it's okay, even though as you can see, I cannot add a runner, I cannot add a competition, so I'm actually going to put a 6 here for the UX depth, even though the level of interactivity is quite good actually. We can click on the various buttons. Can we switch from one way to another? We can. So the level of interactivity is, in my opinion, quite good. For me, Figma Make, let's get back to V0 and have a look at it again. But yeah, as we can see, we can add a runner. Let's test this out. Okay, let's test with this one here. Okay, yeah, seems to work. And I add a new announcement? I can. So yeah, in terms of interactivity, it's not as good, in my opinion, as Figma Make. However, in terms of UX depth, I find it really, really cool. Let's have a look. at here. So yeah, it seems to have worked here for Codex. So that's roughly, I would say, more than 10 minutes. Even yeah, let's say just more than 10 minutes here. Yeah, let's get back to actually Lovable because we didn't have a look at it. So the design is quite good, honestly. Is it interactive? It's not that interactive actually. Can I add competition? I cannot. Can I click on a runner here? Can I add competition? Not here as well. Okay. I mean, it looks good overall. So for me, I would say that the level, I mean, the level of the design is maybe a bit lower than V0. So I'm actually going to put an 8 for Lovable and actually put a 9 for V0. In terms of interactivity, that's actually the same level for me as V0. In terms of UX depth, it's not that good because as you can see, we cannot like, I mean, perform some CRUD actions basically. So this is why I would go for the same note than for a Figma Make. In terms of design system fidelity, I mean, overall, I think we're good. Actually, we're not using the pop-ins, are we actually? Yes, we are. Okay, so that's overall good. So yeah, overall, that's what we achieved here. So it took more than 10 minutes for Codex. And where are we regarding Opus 4.6? It's still working. So let's have it continue to generate the code. And in the meantime, let's test out Codex. So let's follow up on the various steps that were instructed. So let's actually split the terminal here and run the various steps that are described here. So we have some libraries to install. Okay, and so let's actually hit the npm run dev command here. So yeah, from the get-go seems to work, and let's actually open up the app here. Okay, so this is what Codex 5.3 came up with. I mean, GPT 5.3 came up with directly from Codex. Honestly, the design is not as good as what we have here. It doesn't look as slick, in my opinion. However, you see there's not enough space between the title of the sections and the elements down there. It's using the right font family, and overall, I think the design system is quite okay. It's interactive though. As you can see, I can add a session here very easily. Okay. I can see the competitions as well. Add some competition here. So it's funny to see the various, I mean, the difference in terms of UI. But honestly, in terms of design, that's really not as good as you can see, right? Even when it comes to the charts, when you compare the charts to like what V0 came up with, I mean, it's like, it's very, very different, honestly. So yeah, so for GPT 5.3 Codex, let's actually come up with some more precise thing here. So, I mean, in terms of design system fidelity, I think the learning is that overall, it's always quite good. We haven't verified in more details on Figma Make, but overall, it's quite good. When it comes to the UX depth for GPT 5.3, I think it's very good, and for me, that's a 9 out of 10. In terms of interactivity as well, I mean, you can see that we can, we can switch between tabs here. When we are on the master schedule here, we can switch between one week to another. So yeah, that's really good. So I'm going to keep it as a 9 out of 10. However, when it comes to the level of design, I'm going to put a 4 out of 10 because that's really not satisfactory. All right. And yeah, as you can see, I think Opus 4.6 is still processing. Oh no, okay, so it's now working. So it took almost 20 minutes actually. So let's actually here, but let's say that it took more than 15 minutes. So that was way slower. And let's actually open it up here. Okay. All right, and as you can see, it's just horrible. How did it miss it that much? I mean, let's just say, and let's just see if we can at least make a first iteration. Oops, the design is horrible. Please fix it. Okay. All right, so it seems to run on this server here. Okay, and it's still horrible in terms of like design. All right, so yeah, if we have to take into account that it actually lasts 18 minutes to come up with a solution, and that even though, okay, we have the jobs to be done overall because we have like the various tabs here, I mean, in terms of first design system fidelity, that's terrible, and in terms of course, in terms of UX depth, let's just have a look at it. Yeah, we actually have some UX depth in the sense that we have some CRUD actions that are available, which is actually not the case everywhere if we have a look at it more precisely. So it's still like let's say a 5 if we're nice. In terms of interactivity, that's let's have a look at it. That's fine. We can play around with the various design elements. So let's actually put a 7. However, in terms of design, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. We can't like start with I mean, our new app from this front end. We would need to like iterate over it a lot of times. Okay, so it's like a 1 out of 10. So here was this side-by-side comparison. So of course there are some biases. So for instance, in Lovable, we don't actually mention explicitly that we want 4.6 fast, while this is what we did for V0. So maybe that would have impacted the time it took to actually build up the front-end prototype. But one really key learning that you should take from this side-by-side comparison is that these like front-end prototype tools like Lovable, Figma Make, and V0, they do exist for a reason, and that's because they are able to actually come up with a very good and sleek design, whether it is from a UX or UI standpoint, when they are given a PRD. And my real advice when it comes to building your own side project or even building a new feature for or product for your company is start by coming up with the front-end prototype with these kind of tools. I personally prefer V0 because it builds the front-end prototype using the Next.js framework that I really like. But honestly, what the level of output from Lovable is also very, very good. And you know, even if it means like just subscribing for maybe 1 month with like the minimum level of credits, just come up with that first front-end prototype in Lovable V0, iterate a bit with 4 or 5 prompts, and then cancel the subscription, synchronize the code to Cursor, and then build up the backend and all the business logic that is necessary to make your application ready for production. That's actually what I teach in the wake of the master course of Web Coding Academy, how to combine Lovable and Cursor to build a side project that is ready for production. So don't hesitate to check it out. And of course, I'm very interested to get your insights in the comments. Did you get other types of results when it comes to actually coming up with a front-end prototype? I'm very curious to know your insights, and let's keep in touch and discussing in the comments. Thanks for your attention.